everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in this Monday to talk about the murder that occurred in Cleveland yesterday. The guy that committed this murder, his name is Steve Stevens. Now, this was an incident that played out on Facebook Live. There was a couple videos put out where this guy talks about, this relationship that he had with this woman that evidently went south. And in this video, he tells you that because of all the things that he's been experiencing in his life, that he's going to go out and start murdering people. Now, in this video, he speaks of a couple areas in Cleveland. He talks about 105. He talks about Eddie Road. He talks about Cedar. He talks about a street called Payne. All of these areas are areas in the cities that I am very familiar with, that I have some family members that live very near these areas, and where I have once lived when I was growing up. So I'm very familiar with these areas. Also, he talks about a facility called Murtis Taylor. It is a behavioral health center, and he is a behavioral health employee. He goes in to talking about a woman by the name of Joy Lane, who is his girlfriend. And he's telling you that the reason why he's doing all of this is because of her. She drove him to it. He's at the breaking point, and he's simply snapped. In this video, he also tells you that he tried to talk to his mother about it, telling her that he was suicidal and also homicidal. And he also claims that she didn't take him serious. In this video, he tells you that this is not something that he would have normally done because of who he is, and it's just not something that he would have done. But he keeps going back to where he's blaming this woman, Joy Lane. Now, if you didn't see the video or if you didn't hear about the video, here's what occurred. He's basically driving down the street looking for someone to kill. He happens upon this elderly man, 78-year-old man, or let me not say the exact age. The man is in his 70s. He goes up to this man. He tells him to say the name of Joy Lane. He tells this older gentleman that that person is the reason why he's going to die today. And then this shooter just opens fire for no reason on this elderly man and kills him. Now, in that video that he put up on Facebook, he tells you that he's also killed 14 other people. Now, Cleveland police did a press conference yesterday, and they say that they have at this point, or at that point, no evidence that there were 14 other people killed. Now, me as a Clevelander, and me as having someone, quite a few family members, basically all my family lives there, I don't have a lot of faith in what Cleveland police say. And here's why. In the last year, Cleveland has had so many homicides, y'all, that it's not even funny, okay? And because of that, there are homicides almost every day there. And there is even a growing list of young girls that are missing. The reason why I bring all this up is because due to the number of murders that Cleveland has daily, Cleveland police cannot say definitively that these murders that maybe occurred leading up to this actual murder yesterday have nothing to do with this guy. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that, he went on a killing spree this last year. What I'm saying is, until they find him and actually talk to him and have him say, well, I did something over here, I did something over here, I did something in this neighborhood, They don't know 100% what he's done. He could have been driving around the last week or so, the last few days or so, randomly shooting people in Cleveland. Maybe some survived, maybe some died. And because of the number of murders that happen in Cleveland on a daily basis, they, meaning the police, don't know that those murders or random shootings are related to this man. We don't know when he went on this killing spree. I only pray that he was just talking shit, the coward that he is, and, it was only this innocent elderly gentleman. But we don't know, you know? And that kind of pisses me off that the Cleveland police are, saying that they have no evidence, because there are murders there every fucking day. And until they investigate, they don't know. Another thing that I had no idea until I started talking to my family members and friends back in Cleveland is they didn't get a breaking news story on the local stations saying that this was occurring. I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook, and, she was on Facebook going off saying that there was no coverage on the news and blah, blah, blah. So I told her, I said, well, yes, there is. I'm watching CNN, and I'm, not in Cleveland, and I'm seeing it. And she said, exactly, Rachel, you're on CNN. We live in Cleveland. Why isn't it on the local news? Why didn't they break into what we were watching today and let us know that there is a man out here on Easter Sunday who has threatened to drive through the city shooting people randomly? And, I was like, wait a minute, you mean Cleveland didn't break into your local stations? She said that she found out about it from CNN, and she lives in Cleveland. Now, I think that's a little crazy. And at that point, what was happening is the people in Cleveland were posting on Facebook, stay inside. There is a shooter out here. And they told the story. Now, you think about it, on Easter Sunday, there are people coming from church. There are people moving about the city because it's a holiday. There are families out. Why wouldn't Cleveland break in and let those people know what was going on? So if what this man was promising to do, he did, at least Cleveland would know. And people could, take shelter, because from what I'm understanding, a lot of people didn't know. And also, the only way that Cleveland police found out is people were watching it on Facebook and they called the police. The people that viewed that video didn't know what was going on, but they knew that something about it didn't sound right, so they called the police. And also, when he started putting out that first video, those videos that he put out, there were people in the comment sections when he went live on Facebook begging him to call them. It appeared to be friends or family members or something that were down in those comments saying, please call me, or I'm trying to call you. Just talk to me, bruh. Don't go out here and do anything. They didn't know if this was a joke, if he was threatening to do it, if it had already happened. They didn't know. And I watched person after person that appeared to know him try to reach out to him to help him. Now, all this stuff that he's doing, blaming his mother, blaming his girlfriend, is a cowardly move. Evidently, something fucking snapped in him, and he went crazy, and he did this. This is not the fault of, a woman. This is not the fault of his mother. This man worked at a behavioral health center. He was a behavioral health employee. So with that fact alone, he knew where to go to get help. He worked in a facility where he could have pulled someone aside and said, hey, look, I'm having some problems. I'm feeling like the world is crashing down on me. I need some help. The woman that he's talking about, Joy Lane, she also works in the behavioral health field. They were behavioral health employees. He talked about that, he had started gambling and he had lost everything, and he was blaming her for all of it. I don't know the personal story between him and whoever this woman is, but whatever he was going through, he's an adult and he had control over it. He could have gone and got help. To go out and randomly start shooting people is not the answer. He even kind of intimated that there were abandoned homes in Cleveland, that maybe he had already hurt people and they were in these abandoned homes. I'm wondering, did Cleveland police check those homes or those areas that he mentioned in the video? Anyone who lives in Cleveland knows those areas very well. Let me give you some perspective on the area that he's speaking of in Cleveland. If you guys are familiar with the group Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, this guy mentioned a street by the name of St. Clair. That's the area, that's the street that Bone Thugs-n-Harmony come from. So that gives you a little perspective to what side of town that he was on when he was doing this video. Here is a classic example of a man who, in his words, the world had crashed down on and he couldn't handle it. So his answer is to go out and hurt innocent people. He drove up to that man, pulled over, got out, and just shot this man to death. And this poor elderly gentleman was just walking home from the store. That's all. He'd gone out to the store after having, Easter dinner with his family. And unfortunately ran into this psychopath and was shot to death there on the street for no reason, And they still haven't found this man. He is still out there. Now, I'm going to tell you some things that, just being a Clevelander and being in touch with people there, that they've been hearing. All of this is rumor, but this is what's on the ground in Cleveland. People are saying that, they have heard that, they're getting pings from his cell phone, and that his cell phone pings are indicating that he's no longer in the Cleveland area. Now remember, all of this is speculation. You know how when a story is going on in your city and you start to hear things and you don't know if it's true or if it's not, but people are putting this on social media, because I think they're feeling like they're not getting as much local information as they need to keep themselves safe in, in the city right now. So they're saying, well, we heard that, he's in this area. We heard that he's in this area due to the pings off his phone. Now, I don't know if the police were putting that out there, if people are listening to, those, radio, how you can listen to police broadcasts on your radio or on those, little apps that allow you to listen to that. I don't know where they're getting this information. But I really think it's sad that yesterday, when all of this was occurring, that the local stations there didn't break in. From what people in Cleveland are saying, they first heard about it on CNN. And then slowly but surely, it started showing up on the local station. How is that possible? When you got a man out here threatening the public, it would seem to me that they would break in immediately and warn the public so they could be safe. You know, y'all, this is the state of the world that we're living in. This is most importantly the state of what's going on in Cleveland with all of the violence and just the things that are happening out in the world. A man lost his life yesterday because another man couldn't deal with everyday life, with reality of maybe, a point in his life when he was low. Instead of going to get help, his answer was to go out and kill people. Now, this woman, this Joy Lane, she is now in police protective custody because they don't know where he is. They don't know whether he's, killed himself or if he's still in the area or even if he's left the area. So she's fearing for her life now, not knowing where he could show up, not knowing what his intentions are, you know, and she's a mess because, it was put out there that, she's the reason why he did this. Something that she did cause it. Can you imagine what that woman is feeling? And then the Cleveland community is a mess. They are, from what I'm understanding, very hurt over the death of that man. I was on Facebook last night and people were literally saying that they could not sleep. And I thought it was because they were afraid that this guy was still in the vicinity. They are upset because the way that man died, it was so bad that they couldn't sleep. They also are upset that that video is circulating all across social media. They're upset for the family because the family is being forced to to be under the weight of that video being all over everywhere. Now, Facebook, to their credit, once they were made aware of the video, they took it down and they disabled his account. Now, a lot of Clevelanders wish that they would have kept his Facebook account up so maybe the police, if he posted something else, they would have an idea of where, he was. Now, I don't know. I kind of sway back and forth on that because if, he was somewhere and was doing something else, you don't want that broadcast, all across social media. The video, I didn't even watch it, y'all. I did not want to watch another human being's life taken live and in living color. I didn't want to watch that. So I turned away. A lot of people yesterday inadvertently ended up watching it because they didn't know that what they were watching was real. So, they just thought it was on this guy talking shit on a video. And, before they knew it, he drove up to this gentleman and opened fire on him and killed that poor man. This has been a really bad 24 hours. And I don't, I believe that if they don't find this man soon, if he hasn't already murdered some other people, he has the potential to do it again. Because, you know, he don't have nothing to lose now. You know, he's already murdered once. He has the taste for blood, and it seems like he's out there to shed blood wherever he can. I pray for that man's family, the poor elderly guy. Even just thinking about it, y'all, it's just the world is crazy right now. Just thinking about what that man's family is going through right now. To know that, this grandfather, this father, this husband lost his life on some crazy shit that some other human being was going through. This don't make no sense, y'all. It doesn't make any sense. Now, The last thing I heard from the people in Cleveland, and like I said, I don't know if this stuff that they're getting, this information that they're getting is true, but they heard that this guy was headed towards Pennsylvania, you know? So if you're anywhere in that area, try to stay safe. Again, this could all just be rumors on the part of Clevelanders, but they're trying to put the word out to keep people safe because they're worried, you know? Someone out randomly shooting people. Y'all, I'm going to pray for that elderly gentleman's family. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine, y'all. And with that, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here. Everybody stay safe, and if I hear anything more about this story, I'll let you know. If you have any comments on it, feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I know everybody, that heard about this story is saying, why, why would you do this? If you were feeling some kind of way, hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people. It's some crazy shit, y'all. And with that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.